Hey, welcome to On This Day. Today's date, January 14th, 2020. There are 65 days left until spring, and it's also National Organize Your House Day. So when you're done watching this video, head on over to Target and buy yourself some shelves and get to work. Let's take a look at what happened on past January 14th. 1784, the first ratification day in the United States. Congress ratifies the Treaty of Paris with Great Britain. This act officially ended the American Revolutionary War, which I am sure stung the British for some time afterwards. They got their asses handed to them by a bunch of farmers and hemped up Indians. They're the most powerful army in the world and navy. They got dealt with. Born on January 14th. 1741, Benedict Arnold, American and British general who served during the American Revolutionary War. He was born on this day. Everybody knows Benedict Arnold was a traitor and despised by pretty much everyone in the United States. Well, his dick moves continued north of the 49th parallel in Canada. Benedict and his family moved to St. John, New Brunswick, Canada in 1787, where Arnold created an uproar with a series of bad business deals and petty lawsuits. The most serious of these was a slander suit which he won against a former business partner. And following this, townspeople burned him in effigy in front of his own house. While his wife and children looked on, the family left St. John and returned to London in December of 1791. 1856, J.F. Archibald was born. He was an Australian journalist and publisher who co-founded The Bulletin, an Australian magazine. Born on January 14th, 1915, Mark Goodson was born. He was an American game show producer that created Family Feud, Price is Right, and a whole bunch of other ones. Died on January 14th, 1920, John Francis Dodge, American businessman and co-founder of Dodge Automobile Company, dies at age 55 in New York City due to the flu and pneumonia during the 1918 flu pandemic. And yes, that flu season lasted 2 years. I'm not even kidding. They estimate that 3 to 5% of the world's population died during that flu outbreak. It was a pandemic. 1858, Napoleon escapes an assassination attempt in Paris. It's funny how the tide turned for Napoleon. He's the toast of Paris one day, next thing he knows he's dodging assassins. Eventually he gets banished to a prison island in the middle of the ocean. 1907, a 6.5 magnitude earthquake hits Kingston, Jamaica, killing more than 1,000 people. 1943, World War II. Franklin Delano Roosevelt becomes the first president of the United States to travel by airplane while in office when he flies from Miami to Morocco to meet with then Prime Minister Winston Churchill. I think that was a little bit crazy. First things first, airplanes hadn't been around that long. They weren't the best things in the world yet. And we were also at war with Germany, who had planes with machine guns on the front of them. If that plane goes down for any reason, we lose a very popular president. What does that do to the war effort? May have changed the complete outcome. Who knows? (1952), NBC's long-running morning news program Today has its debut with host Dave Garroway, and it's still going on. Dave Garroway isn't, the show is. Mr. Garroway took his own life in July of 1982. He was experiencing some problems after open heart surgery. I guess it was just too much for the guy. He was 69. 1954, the Hudson Motor Car Company merges with Nash Corporation, forming the American Motors Corporation. My mom had a Nash when I was a kid. I just remember the thing overheating all the time. Maybe that's why they went out of business or merged with someone else. 1967, the New York Times reports the U.S. Army is conducting secret germ warfare experiments. It was true. This is where we got wonderful products like Agent Orange. 1973, Elvis Presley's concert Aloha from Hawaii is broadcast live via satellite and sets all kinds of records. Most watched broadcast by an individual entertainer in television history. It was a really big deal back then. The whole satellite thing was blowing people away. 2004, the national flag of the Republic of Georgia, the so-called five-cross flag, is restored to official use after a hiatus of some 500 years. Now, was this because it was historic, or did they run out of creativity trying to reinvent themselves again? They have had 7 different flags since 1910, and there was an additional 6 while they were still a kingdom. In between this five-cross flag and reusing it, it's a total of 13 flags. 2010, Yemen declares open war against the terrorist group Al-Qaeda. Better late than never, guys. Nice going, Yemen. Way to be on top of it. I think Al-Qaeda was kind of on the run by now, and they just jump on board in 2010? Oh well.